Again, good morning, honored guests, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Citizens Care and Montevue Assisted Living. I'm Sonia Sperlich, Chair of the Board of Trustees, and I am delighted to have you with us on this very special day. We originally planned this as an outdoor event with a tent beyond the portico, but due to weather conditions, we opted for Plan B, and we appreciate your patience with the need to use 2 rooms for our program. Rain or not, we are thrilled to be here. I am honored to introduce Dr. Aurro Beck, a former member of the Board of Trustees, who will offer our invocation this morning. Dr. Beck served this nation and the world for many years in the field of bacteriology, helping to lead the fight in vaccine development and the prevention of disease. Dr. Beck.
Thank you. Good morning. Good morning. It might be dreary and dismal outside, but when you take the tour, there will be sunshine everywhere. It's a great pleasure to be part of this day and celebration. Please join me in giving thanks. Dear Heavenly Father, we come together today in celebration of our history, our community, and our mission of service to those in need. We ask you to bless the healing work that takes place here, the residents and patients whom we serve, and the staff and volunteers who give so much of themselves every day. We ask you to make us servant leaders. Help us to reach out to one another and to those who might believe that the world has turned them away. Thank you, Father, for your bountiful gifts and continued grace. In the words of the psalmist, create in us clean hearts and renew a right spirit within us. Amen.
Thank you, Dr. Beck. 180 years ago, the land beneath our feet was part of the Bruner Farm that was acquired by the citizens of this county for one reason. It was to be used in perpetuity for the benefit of the poor of said county and to and for no other use, intent, or purpose whatsoever. The first building constructed on this property opened in 1832 and was located on the other side of Montevue Lane. From the opening of those doors to the opening of these, the citizens of Frederick County have created and sustained a long history of building partnerships to meet our primary goal, caring for our friends and neighbors in need. Through good times and bad, depressions, wars, and changes in the delivery of medical care, Montevue and later citizens have provided unique services that the people of Frederick County have found to be valuable and worthy of a strong commitment. Together, we are taking 2 very important steps today. The first is cutting the ribbon on this new facility, a symbol of opening a new chapter in the history of Montevue and citizens. At the same time, we're celebrating the partnerships that make our work possible. I'd like to tell you about a few of them. First, as a county-owned and operated facility with a history that spans 4 centuries, the Board of County Commissioners is our strongest partner in meeting our mission of service to the poor and indigent. We work in tandem with county employees from all agencies, and this wonderful facility is a great example of that teamwork. We also value our partnerships with elected officials in Frederick County cities and towns, many of whom are here today. I especially want to thank Frederick Mayor Randy McClement for the wonderful cooperation we receive from officials and staff of the City of Frederick during the planning and construction of our new facility. We are also thankful for our relationships with our state representatives, Delegate Galen Claggett and Senator David Brinkley. were instrumental in our award of a state matching grant for equipment, and we appreciate their attention and support. Do you know that the Citizens and Montevue Auxiliaries provided more than 3,300 hours of volunteer service last year? That represents a gift of time valued at more than $70,000. Over the years, their fundraising provided everything from wheelchairs and refrigerators to a van, landscaping, and a pavilion. Their partnership is irreplaceable. Countless area churches, service organizations, local businesses, and individuals provided everything from toothpaste to holiday gifts, time and financial resources to our residents and patients last year, partnering with us to meet unfunded needs and enhance the quality of residential life. Our new facility is designed to meet the challenging needs of today's medical care in the most efficient ways possible, allowing us to expand services to generate more income and become more self-sufficient. To do that, we rely on our dedicated staff, whose professionalism is the core of our operation. Our employees have provided more than 70,000 days of patient and resident care last year. That's amazing job is accomplished through the partnership and trust built between our staff, our patients, their families, and the community, and it must be nurtured every day. Our partnership with the Community Foundation of Frederick County now links us with donors who wish to support and augment the services provided to our patients and residents. And you will hear more and see more today about the wonderful results of this important link with community members. We are also proud of strengthening our relationships with Frederick Memorial Hospital and other regional acute care providers. Our new facilities enhance our ability to bring rehabilitation and nursing care services to area residents who want to remain close to home. Our new units, specializing in memory care and mechanical ventilator support, offer an important opportunity to expand our services. The entire staff of Citizens in Montevue work with families and volunteers every day to provide the highest quality nursing care and rehabilitation services. We are very proud of earning and maintaining a 4-star rating from the Centers for Medicare and Medicaid Services, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year. As we are gathered here right now, the work of Citizens in Montevue goes on. More than 240,000 meals prepared in a year, 28,600 pounds of laundry done every week. The care that is provided here is necessary, often difficult, and essential to maintaining dignity and respect when illness and age can make us the most vulnerable. Each of us must be a link in the chain of support that makes that care possible. On behalf of the entire Citizens and Montevue community, I extend our thanks to all of you who have partnered with us in the past, and I invite you, both old friends and new acquaintances, to join hands with us now, to be partners in securing a new century of unique service that continues to be worthy of great commitment. Thank you again for being with us today. I am very pleased to introduce Cherie Paris-Nudd, the Executive Administrator of Citizens and Montevue. Cherie came to us last January with a strong background in nursing home administration and a willingness to jump right into this big and important project. Please join me in welcoming her. Cherie.
Thank you, Sonia. Good morning. It is my pleasure to welcome you to the Citizens in Montevue community, and I thank you for joining us on this day. I want to emphasize that word community because that's exactly what this medical complex is. A community of people, staff, patients, residents, families, and volunteers who work together 24 hours a day to provide the best home and the best health care possible for each individual who needs and chooses our services. We are unique, for we provide a sophisticated mix of services. For some patients, we are a temporary step down from hospital care, and they recuperate here, they receive rehabilitation, and then they go home. For others, this is home. And for the community at the stage of life that demands full-time nursing care, and for some residents and families at the end of life as well, we are there for them because even if there is no cure to be had, there is healing to be had through a ministry of caring. All of our operations are put into place, and as we do that in the coming months, we will also care for those who need ongoing outpatient rehabilitation services. We'll serve more in our memory care unit and in our very specialized nursing care of our mechanical ventilation support unit. We're also home to the residents of Montevue, our assisted living facility, to which we are adding 15 private pay rooms, allowing us to serve a total of 75 individuals of all income levels, a key part of our strategy to enhance our self-sufficiency. Life at Citizens in Montevue is always busy, vibrant, challenging, and we need and appreciate the help of all of our partners in the greater Frederick County community as we share our mission and encourage our residents to take advantage of our services. Today, as you join us in officially opening the doors of this beautiful state-of-the-art facility, I invite you to take a tour, ask questions, learn about our work. I also invite you to return often, perhaps as a volunteer, and to let us know how and when we might be of service to you or someone you know, and to partner with us in serving others. As many of you know, this is a multi-phase project, and our new complex has been constructed in front of our current buildings. And when all of our operations have been moved, which will be later next month, then the current buildings will be demolished and the remainder of the parking lots, roadways, and landscaping will be completed. As with all building projects that take place in this manner, there have been some challenges in maneuvering and parking. We appreciate the patience shown by the family members and volunteers. And between now and opening day, residents will be touring their new home in small groups. There will be a grand opening for them and their family members after we move in. Citizens in Montevue have played an important role in the history of Frederick County, and we have much to celebrate today as we take the next step forward in our work. Thank you so much for sharing it with us. Thank you. It's now my pleasure to introduce Diane Grove, who has been the administrator of Montevue for 15 years. Diane has played an integral role in developing our new facility, and I am delighted to be working with her. Diane.
Thank you, Sherry. Thank you, everyone. Good morning, and welcome to the home of Frederick County's oldest assisted living facility. And thank you for coming to join us as we celebrate yet another milestone in the history of Montevue. It's hard to imagine that we're sitting and standing on farmland that was once farmed to provide food for the local Montevue Hospital and county jail. It's amazing for me to think that past administrators presided over summer canning and fall butcherings. And let me add, thank goodness those days are gone. In addition, the laundry was hung outside until 1960 to dry. And as you heard Sonia say earlier, 26,000 pounds of laundry a week. I can't imagine the amount of clotheslines we'd have here to hang that laundry. We've certainly come a long way. But what hasn't changed over the years has been Frederick County's assurance to our senior citizens with limited resources that they're not left homeless in the last years of their life. Unfortunately, if there wasn't a Montevue, that would be the case for many of our residents. Montevue is much more than a building. It's a home, It's a place of security, warmth, and caring, just like I hope your home is for you. The Frederick Countyans who call Montevue their home have various backgrounds. The majority of our residents have worked hard all their lives and just have outlived their financial resources. Some of our residents with disabilities lived at home only to outlive their family caregivers or find that their care requires more care than they can receive at home. Many of our residents have served their country, both in times of war and of peace. Altogether, they are distinct personalities.
A year ago,
loving and caring
in
individuals
July 2000,
who are deserving of our respect. It's my honor to serve them and to work with all of you in continuing the mission of Montevue and our tradition of caring. Thank you very much for being with us today. Now, I'm proud to introduce Sue Ferguson. Sue served as a member of our Board of Trustees and a member of the administrative team that opened Citizens in 1976. Sue has worked here for 21 years and continues to be one of our strongest supporters. Thank you. Thanks, Sue.
Good morning. I can't begin to tell you how happy I am to be with you today as we open the newest chapter in the story of Citizens in Montevue. When we opened the doors of the current Citizens building 36 years ago in 1976, my boss, Administrator William P. Hill Jr., hoped that there would be an interest in forming a volunteer auxiliary, just as there was at the Montevue home. He got his wish within 2 months, and since that time, both auxiliaries have played essential roles in raising money and improving the quality of life for our residents and patients. The members of the Montevue Citizens Auxiliary deserve our special thanks on this day. Let's ask them to stand and give them a round of applause. Please stand. Thank you. Good ideas tend to feed off one another, and the example of charitable support shown by both auxiliaries over the years has blossomed. Thanks to 2 former trustees, Citizens in Montevue are now the beneficiaries of 2 charitable funds established at the Community Foundation of Frederick County. It's my pleasure to introduce Don Linton and Charlie Trunk, men of vision and caring, and truly dedicated to the mission of Citizens in Montevue. Don and Charlie.
good morning. What a great day. It may be a little bit wet, but the farmers are just tickled to death, so everyone benefits. In 1999, the Board of County Commissioners formed a Blue Ribbon Task Force to look at ways in which citizens in Montevue could continue to provide the best possible services to our indigent and senior citizens in the 21st century. 13 years later, we're opening the doors of a new facility that not only brings our medical services up to a modern-day standards, but continues that long-term commitment made generations ago to our fellow citizens. We are proud to have a tradition of service in this community that astounds new people who move here. And today is a shining example of what we can achieve when we work together. It is impossible to thank each individual who has helped bring us to this day, but I do want to acknowledge the vision and support of our Board of County Commissioners, past and present. Members of the Board of Trustees, the staff, I'm getting prompted on the side, that's good. The staff of both Citizens in Montevue and members of the auxiliaries. Quality medical care takes a lot of time, a lot of energy, and a lot of people who must be up to the job all the time. There are no snow days or holidays at Citizens and Montevue, and they're here 24/7. We are very fortunate to have a workforce that meets these demands and dedicated volunteers to back them up. It's a great team that is second to none. and they deserve our continued support and respect. When the Blue Ribbon Task Force was formed 13 years ago, I was privileged to serve alongside former County Commissioner and State Delegate Anita Stuck. She's going to fuss me, but that's okay. She's here. And I want to publicly acknowledge her long and strong vocal support for citizens in Montevue. Anyone who knows Anita knows that she is no pushover. And no one is better at asking the right questions. Her belief that the work done here at Citizens in Montevue is great for Frederick County, and it can be done efficiently and cost effectively. It can be done. We could always count on Anita for her support and also helping to find that third vote when we needed it. Didn't always have that, but she helped. And she was also one of the first donors to the funds that Charlie Trunk and I established at the Community Foundation. She believes, along with over 50 other donors, that caring for our neighbors and friends is the right thing to do, and partnering with more people allows us to do more and to do it well, and to help citizens in Montevue be as self-sufficient as possible. Anita, wherever you are, please stand and let people take a look at it. Where are you? I'm going to ask Charlie Trunk, former Citizens in Montevue trustee and co-chair of our fundraising project, to tell you about the funds that we have set up and the progress that we've made. Charlie?
Thank you, Don. The Friends of Citizens Care and Rehabilitation Center and Montevue Assisted Living has created a legacy through the Community Foundation of Frederick County that will provide annual funding to help meet the needs of patients and residents of both Citizens and Montevue and fulfill our mission to all members of the community, regardless of income level. We are delighted to tell you that we have reached the $700,000 mark in gifts made on behalf of Citizens in Montevue. There are two funds available to meet donors' interest. First, the Citizens Care and Rehabilitation and Montevue Assisted Living Fund is a permanent endowment. Gifts to this fund are never spent. They are invested. The income earned on the fund each year is then made available to the Citizens in Montevue trustees for use in enhancing the quality of life of patients and residents. Secondly, the Friends of Citizens Care and Rehabilitation Center and Montevue Assisted Living Fund is a fund that can address current needs of patients and residents beyond the capital budget, such as equipment, residential enhancements, and necessities. Contributions may be made in any amount to either fund at any time. This is a wonderful way to make a memorial gift, to honor the community service of a friend, colleague, or family member, or simply make your own commitment to the work of Citizens in Montevue. Don and I are always available to discuss giving opportunities, or you may contact the Community Foundation at any time. Thank you.
Thank you again, Charlie. And Charlie and I also have a few pledge cards in our pockets. And there were a few benches and some other beautiful areas in our new facility that you will see that are ready to be named. Just let us know how we can be of assistance. We'd glad to talk to you. Every successful fundraising effort needs a worthy purpose and donors who are prepared to be leaders that Dr. Beck talked about earlier. I'd like to take a moment to recognize three of the first major donors to this effort. The first is Tommy Dorsey, former Frederick County State's Attorney and son of Lawrence A. Dorsey, former Chairman of the Board of County Commissioners, who was a strong and tireless leader in the creation of Citizens Nursing Home. Tommy stepped forward early in his to honor his father's commitment to the senior citizens of Frederick County and to name the Citizens Chapel in memory of his parents and his sister, Doris Ramsberg, a well-known Frederick County educator. Tommy, would you please stand and be recognized? It is also a great pleasure for me to recognize former county commissioner and a long-time Thurmont business owner, Donald L. Lewis. Don served alongside with Lou Dorsey on the Board of County Commissioners that understood the need for citizens, and he has again taken the lead to ensure its future. With Don's very generous gift, he has named the Rehabilitation Center in honor of his wife, Frida, who benefited from many rehabilitation services in the later days of her life. Don, if you would please stand. And lastly, we are pleased to have received the support of Judge and Mrs. Samuel Barrett. They weren't going to come, but I talked them into it. Sam doesn't like that. Judge Barrett retired from Frederick County Circuit Court, served as county attorney under Commissioner Dorsey in the 1960s. He and his wife, Joan, have named the Montevue Fountain, which is a little bit still under construction, in honor of Commissioner Dorsey. Sam and Joan, would you also please stand and be recognized? It's extremely gratifying to see so many previously elected officials come forward and support our efforts, citizens. It really is very encouraging, and we thank you all for your support. As the construction of the new facility got underway, and as Charlie and I began talking with a lot of prospective donors about these funds, every time questions came up about, what is Montevue? Who is it? What is it? Etc. And we realized from those conversations that now was a perfect time to tell the story, the whole story of Montevue from the 1770s until the present, before it was lost or forgotten. The result is heroic work. The story of Montevue, yesterday and today, was created. And we're proud to share a copy with you this morning. With special thanks for the hundreds of hours of research by Cindy Powell and Kay Sheets, who made this book possible. Copies will be available from Kay in the Citizens Reception area, not the Montevue, where you came in, but Citizens. And the books will be over there, and please take a copy with you. And if you have a friend that should have one, please take an extra copy for them too. We all have a role to play in securing the future of this very valuable facility, and your partnership is crucial to its success. Now I'm very pleased to introduce Faye Bavard, a member of the Board of Trustees, who happened to be our first nursing director at Citizens, and later served as resident manager of Montevue. And you'll find a photo of Faye on page 57. Welcoming the first resident, 98-year-old Oscar Singer, moving from the Montevue home to Citizens in 1976. And I think the only thing that's changed in the photo is the fact that Kay's not wearing her nursing cap anymore. She still looks the same, hasn't aged a bit. But I think it's also important to note that both Faye and Sue Ferguson served full-time as county employees. Retired, came back as volunteers. Now Sue and Faye both serve as trustees of Citizens. That's what it's all about, caring and giving back to our county friends and our neighbors in need. Thank you very much.
Well, good morning. I too am excited about being here today to share with this wonderful, wonderful event. Today I have the honor of welcoming and introducing Tom Kleinhansel, President and CEO of the Frederick Regional Health System, one of our most important partners in providing quality care to the citizens of Frederick. But before I do that, I want to take a moment to remind everyone that before there was a Montevue, Before there was a Frederick City Hospital, as FMH was originally named, there was a Montevue Hospital, and indeed an emergency hospital, housed in the building now used for the Maryland Extension Service. While we focus today primarily on the needs of the senior citizens in our community, it's worth remembering that more than 5,000 babies were born in the emergency hospital from 1934 to 1954. Imagine that, 5,000 babies. Perhaps that includes one or two of you who are here today. Over the years, Montevue has always lived up to its mission of caring for the poor and those not provided for. How exciting it will be to continue that work in this beautiful new facility while leaving the newborn babies to FMH. Tom Kleinhansel came to FMH in December of 2004. During his tenure, the hospital system has continued to grow, keeping up with the county's need for outstanding medical services. FMH has a strong commitment to community involvement, providing services and benefits valued at more than $21 million in preventive health initiatives, quality health care, wellness programs, and educational outreach. We're honored to work alongside them in caring for Frederick County residents. Mr. Kleinhansel.
It's a tough act to follow. It's very much a pleasure to be with you all today, and I think of 3 C's as I've heard in the speeches today and the comments: collective community commitment. And the persistence that's gone into making this a reality is just tremendous. I know it was suggested that maybe this started 13 years ago, and I'm sure it started, as you've heard, decades ago, with a vision and a mission to care for the sick and comfort the injured and take care of the poorest in our community. And in that vein, we have a similar mission in this community, and I applaud the many county commissioners that worked on this over 13 years, the many local officials that helped, the boards of this fine organization that had the vision, the leadership, the energy to create what you're sitting in today. I happen to think Plan A, which was outside, became Plan A inside, not Plan B, because this is where these buildings come to life. It's inside, and it's the people like you and the commitment of the staff and the compassion that's delivered that makes a difference to the neediest people in our population in our county. It happens every day in organizations just like this, and they're very few and far between, and when we find them, we have to protect them, we have to preserve them, and we have to sustain those missions in our community. And I applaud the ingenuity and the vision that went into rethinking the business model and the care delivery model of what you're all doing here at Montevue and Citizens. We know that the healthcare environment we all live in today is indeed challenging. It is one where population is aging, certainly more obese, bringing chronic conditions in multiple occasions. Not unusual at all for those folks that are dual eligibles for Medicare and Medicaid to have 2, 3, and 4 chronic conditions that rely on a facility such as this to be their safety net in a community. And I very much applaud how you've rethought that care delivery model to achieve the triple aim in a broader sense, to provide access to a population, higher quality of outcomes for a lower cost. That is indeed paramount, working together collaboratively in organizations going forward if we're going to collectively care for the population in our community of Frederick. To this end, this is not just creating a replacement facility. It is indeed more than just rebuilding an antiquated physical plant. The needs of your patients, I know, are going well beyond that. They're going well beyond that in our organization. And I know that we'll continue to work together in many, many creative ways. The work you're doing with memory care and rehab and ventilator care are indeed exactly what's in line with the demographic trends we're seeing in the community in this area is facing. And complementing that with the continued commitment to your mission of caring for the poorest individuals and those most in need, I think is incredibly stellar and right on par with what we need and continue to work together to deliver for those that count on us in this county collectively. So again, I think Plan B is Plan A. We're in the right room, we're in the building, and it's altogether fitting that we're all here together to bring this building to life. I'm very honored to be a very, very small part of this celebration, and I know our organization, on behalf of Frederick Regional Health System and our board of directors, wishes you all Godspeed in another 100 years of wonderful care delivery. And we look forward to working with you on your continued success. Thank you.
Thank you, Tom. I'm so pleased you were able to join us today. And now I am honored to introduce Blaine Young, President of the Board of County Commissioners and the board's representative to the Citizens of Montevue Board of Trustees. Blaine?
I want to first introduce those Board of County Commissioner members that are here. I saw the Vice President of the Board, Paul Smith. Paul, in the back. Also, County Commissioner David Gray. Also, County Commissioner Billy Shreve. Billy. Did not see County Commissioner Kirby DeLauder, but he may be in the other room. Also want to recognize the members of the previous Board of County Commissioners. I don't know if they're present. That would be County Commissioner Jan Gardner, who is president of the board. Also, County Commissioner Kai Hagan. Is former Commissioner Hagan here? Okay. Kai. Also, David was part of that board. County Commissioner Charles Jenkins, who actually I filled out the remainder of his term, and former County Commissioner John Lenny Thompson. So I do want to ask for a round of applause for the previous board, because they're the ones that actually took the votes to move this forward. I also want to recognize those that are here that are former county commissioners. I know we mentioned Anita, and my goodness gracious, Don, I mean, I'm going to have to live with her 3 hours this week. Huh? But Anita, if you could stand, I think I saw former County Commissioner Terry Roderick. He was here. We saw former County Commissioner Don Lewis. Was there any other former? Gail Bauer. Please, if you could please stand. Former Commissioners Charles Smith, our former Commissioner Gail Bowerman, Don Lewis, former President of the Board of County Commissioners, Gail Claggett. A round of applause for him, and thank you. And Ken, we mentioned two members of that board. Do you remember, does anyone, and you can't answer, does anyone remember the third member of that Board of Commissioners that served with Lou Dorsey and Donald Lewis? No? John Durr. John Durr. That was the Board of County Commissioners that put this in motion. I also want to recognize that we have the County Manager, Dave Dunn, is here, and also former County Manager, my good friend Barry Stanton, made a trip up here. Barry, thank you very much. And I don't know if former County Manager Ronald Hart is here or not. I do want to say on behalf of the Board of County Commissioners, I'm pleased to be here today to celebrate the ribbon cutting ceremony of the new Montevue Citizens Campus. I first like to thank our appreciation to the Board of Trustees of Citizens in Montevue, the fine volunteers, key word, volunteers, who have been the guiding force behind this new facility. For many years during long sessions, they've worked together to serve the citizens of Frederick County and the residents and staff of Citizens in Montevue. If I could ask a round of applause for the Board of Trustees of Citizens in Montevue. And also a round of applause for our staff, our county staff that is here, and also LW Consultants that now has joined us in this journey. So if I could ask a round of applause for them also. And I do want to mention the fact that I do appreciate that Charlie Trunk and Don mentioned the fact about personal giving. We went through this because they've got all these ethics ordinance, and you can't ask for money, prestige office. So I'm asking as a private citizen. I mean, I've only had about 18 ethics complaints. What's one more? I think I can beat that one. You think? But this is the type of partnership, and I know they wrote a script, but I'm going away from the script. This is the type of partnership that we need. Not only county government, but the Board of Trustees, also private donors, also working with the hospital to make sure that this is a new chapter, a new day, to move forward, to provide the services, and also to make sure that we are good stewards of the tax dollars, and making sure that we move forward, and we've got the ship moved forward. I'm the liaison, and I can tell you that we have an excellent working relationship with the Board of Trustees here. They have done an outstanding job of working with us, tweaking things, getting things in place that they've been trying to do for years to get the facility running the way they want. Of course, you can see the vision of having everything under one roof, which is going to provide a lot of efficiencies instead of having two separate buildings. So there's going to be opportunities there. And again, I do thank those that stepped up to the plate, private donors. And I know that Tommy Dorsey is here, the son of Lou Dorsey, stepping up to the plate with his donation, and also former County Commissioner Donald Lewis. So I'm not going to, that's pretty much it. We here at the Board of County Commissioners, you've heard us talk about being open for business. Well, we are open for business, and we want to be the most senior-friendly county in the state. We've put in place the senior tax credit also, and also with Louise Lynch with the Commission of Aging, we allocated $100,000 for a senior study because we want seniors, to stay in Maryland, not to go Pennsylvania and Delaware. And if they need to find a place in Maryland, we want it to be Frederick County. So again, on behalf of the Board of County Commissioners, congratulations, and we look forward to continue working with you to get the job done. And folks, again, these are volunteers, and they are putting a tremendous amount of time in, and I applaud them for their efforts. So congratulations.
Thank you, Commissioner Young. On behalf of everyone associated with the work of Citizens in Montevue, I want to thank you all again for sharing this wonderful day with us. Now, in a few minutes, we're going to cut a ribbon and welcome you into our new home. And I want to just ask all of our former and current Board of Trustees members to stand for just a moment. All former and current trustees to stand. These are the volunteers that are serving you. Let's recognize them. Thank you. Now, since we are indoors, we are going to do two ribbon cuttings. We're going to do one right here, right now, just for you. And then after that, we're going to ask all current and former board members and all current and former elected officials, to proceed immediately to the front door of Montevue, where most of you came in, probably the door you came in, for a large group photo behind another ribbon. But we realize not everybody's going to go out in the rain to see that. So after our first ribbon cutting right here, we're going to ask those groups that I mentioned to proceed immediately out to the front door for that large group photo.